Afternoon everybody, it's DIY Jan here, and one of several projects we're doing today. The first project we've completed, I'll show you what it was, which was the chicken house area. We had a chicken run and fenced off the area. So this is what it looks like now. The individual posts that you see here are from reclaimed wood, cut down to size. We dug a little hole, put a foot deep, filled up with postcrete, and waited for it to dry, and then painted it with some leftover cuprinol paint that wood paint that we use for the fences there. Those fences are also reclaimed wood. They were from pallets that were delivering plasterboards when we were renovating the house. The chicken house over there has been repainted. So on the roof it's bitumen paint. That gives it a nice dark black colour, as well as a water resistance. And then there's some wood paint for the blue and yellow. The chicken wire is around the fence here. Chicken wire around the fence. They were just stapled in, and we also used some pegs in some points to put in. This door here, reclaimed door, I cut it down to size and then screwed them on with some hinges, 2 hinges, and just a simple basic a bolt. I'll show you what kind of lock it is. Just that type of lock. And we just put a bolt there. We painted it blue like the chicken. It's mainly to stop my son, who is autistic, to running in. The second project, mini project, was this gate, an old fence panel, and I bought some brand new hinges here, and they went in pretty well. Painted the fence with the leftover cuprinol paint. I even used some of the handles from the old doors that we had left over from the house. We didn't use them. We just took those doors out, replaced them with some brand new doors, took the handles off them, and repurposely placed them here, just as a, I don't know, just for the sake of pulling it from somewhere. Didn't need to do it. I just thought I'd put it in. It looked nice. I'm going to work on a lock for it as well, so to stop my son from going over. And now today's project was the greenhouse. This is my greenhouse. It was located further to the back over there, which I will take you a picture of. This greenhouse, we took the glass panels off because we had ivy and some other types of weeds that were infused into the framework, had damaged the glass. It was really bad. I'll show you some of the ivy at the back, but we took most of the glass off because we're going to use perspex instead, just for the safety of my son, who's autistic, and he may want to damage it when he throws a tantrum or gets upset. So that's the reason why we got that done. So once the glass pans were off, it was pretty light. You'll need 2 people to lift it up anyway, because of the awkwardness of it, but it's pretty light. We've left the glass panel on the main door itself. That seems to be quite strong anyway, and to take that off would be quite a long thing to do. So we're just leaving it for the moment until we decide if we're going to keep it or not. But eventually this is going to be covered in perspex. Before we do that, this is what I've been doing today, and I've built 2 courses of, bricklayed 2 courses of bricks here. This is my first time I'm doing bricklaying. I've never done it before. It looks okay from the angle I'm showing you, but I can tell that I need help, and it's as straight as I could make it without using a line. I should have used the line. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos. It's a lot more difficult than how the professionals do make it look. Kudos to them. I think with any job, preparation is key. I tried my best. I managed to get some bags of builder sand from B&Q. At the moment we are on a lockdown, so it's difficult getting supplies from B&Q, and I managed to get 2 bags of sand, builder sand, and 1 cement. Cement's alright, not a problem, it lasted. It's still got loads left. It's 25 kg, but the large bags of the sand, which is the Tarmac brand that B&Q do, you know what, they don't have a weight amount, so I couldn't really work out if I could use the whole lot or not. I'm glad I didn't. I did portion by portion. So this is the builder sand from Tarmac, and what I did was I did 4 handfuls or 4 loads of builder sand to 1 cement. Gave it a try, and it was difficult to work with. Honestly, it was really difficult to work with. It wasn't the way as buttery as they normally mention. I tried using more water, it made it sloppy, but it wasn't binding well. I mean, going onto the brick, once it was on the brick, the brick was quite wet. It absorbed a lot of water. You know, it'll probably be quite strong in the mix I made, but it was hard to work with. Eventually I got fed up. As you can see, there's a bricky there as well. I tried using that, it don't work because the bricky is a certain width, and the bricks at the bottom, which were already laid by the previous people, I'll just show you what they look like. Those are the original bricks that were laid all around, and on that layer, on that footing, the original greenhouse was put on. I've raised it so that we can have a bit more roof space, and this is what I've done. Yeah. Anyway, I was mentioning it was difficult to work with the mixture, and unfortunately I had some of this which I thought I needed for the last project when I was building the house. I didn't. It's a mortar plasticizer, and just a few drops of that made it so much easier to work with. I didn't even need to add any water to it, because I first did the premix of the sand cement, and then I added a bit of this, and it, with the water that was already in the sand, it was sufficient for me to do the rest of the job, and it went quite quick. It would have gone quicker if I had known to use that beforehand. And yeah, this is where we got to. As I mentioned, I've tried my best to keep it as level and straight as possible. I used the level as much as I could. I didn't have the line to work with. Let's see. Done the best I could. Now the bottom bricks are wider than the top 2 bricks, so I've pushed them. I've worked it towards the outer layer of the bricks, so that it's all uniform on the outside. Hopefully, it is messy, I understand. I will try to tidy up with a bit of pointing. Right now, I just want it to set. I've just finished it for the day. I'm gonna tidy up and yeah, just have a shower, get some rest, and hopefully by tomorrow this will be quite solid. I'll finish off this area. I'm going to do the same along there, finish off there, and then whatever bricks remaining, we might make some like miniature shelves inside this area. These wooden planks is just to border off, that's the walking area, so the wife will come in and then she'll use all this area around here as a planting area to plant the stuff that she wants to plant. Anyway, this is my first attempt at making a 2 courses up. I had the advantage of someone actually doing the ground one. Once again, kudos to all those bricklayers. They know their craft really well, and respect to them, because I know how difficult their job is, you know. Also, I wanted to show you the reason why we took the glass house down, and that's this bindweed, ivy, whatever you want to call it. This weed, it's going to have to go, and it goes really deep. We've gone deep as we can. We're going to give it a bit of poison to kill it off, and then we're going to do the panels. So the fence panels are the next after this is all done. I'm going to fix the fence panels, and then we'll put the greenhouse in its place once the new perspex have been put in. Okay, that's from me, DIY Jan. All the best to you. Thank you so much for listening and watching. Any advice, please put it in the comments. All advice is golden, and I will take it on board. Thank you so much. Good afternoon.